Right now, somewhere out there, a hunt is beginning. And here is the first thing that will surprise you. It will probably fail. The lion, the great white, the wolf, the animals we crown as nature's ultimate killers, miss far more often than they succeed. A lion may fail 4 hunts out of 5. A great white shark walks away hungry most of the time. Predation, it turns out, is one of the hardest jobs on Earth, and failure is the normal result, which raises a strange and beautiful question. If most predators fail most of the time, then what does true perfection actually look like? What is the deadliest hunter alive, and what is the secret that lets it win when almost everything else comes up empty? By the end of this, the answer will not be the animal you expect. Let's begin with the most obvious weapon of all: raw, breathtaking speed. On the open savanna, nothing accelerates like a cheetah. From a standing start, it can reach 100 kilometers an hour in about 3 seconds, faster than a supercar off the line. Its whole body is a launcher. The spine flexes and unspools like a spring, throwing the hind legs far past the front, so that for long stretches of every stride, all 4 feet leave the ground and the cat is simply flying. Semi-retractable claws bite into the dirt like the spikes on a sprinter's shoe. A long, heavy tail swings as a counterweight, letting the cheetah carve impossible turns at full sprint to track a swerving gazelle. Enlarged nostrils and lungs pull in huge gulps of air, and an oversized heart pounds to feed the muscles their fuel. Everything about this cat has been subtracted down to speed minus light bones, a small head, a narrow waist. But this is a weapon with a fuse. That astonishing engine overheats in seconds. A cheetah can only hold its top speed for a few hundred meters before its body temperature spikes toward dangerous levels, and it has to stop, chest heaving, sometimes too exhausted to even eat what it just caught. And in those exhausted minutes, it is dangerously vulnerable. A lion or a pack of hyenas can simply walk up and steal the meal it nearly died to catch. Perfection here comes with a countdown. Now lift your eyes off the ground, because the fastest hunter on the planet does not run at all. It falls. The peregrine falcon climbs high above its prey, folds its wings into a tight teardrop, and drops into a hunting dive called a stoop. In that plunge, it reaches over 380 kilometers an hour, making it the fastest animal alive. Faster than a skydiver, faster than a race car. At that speed, the air itself becomes a weapon, and the falcon's body is engineered to survive it. Special bony cones inside its nostrils break up the shockwave of incoming air so its lungs are not blown apart. A see-through third eyelid sweeps across each eye, clearing dust while keeping the target in perfect focus. It rarely grabs its prey in the dive. Instead, it strikes with clenched talons like a fist, a single hammer blow at incredible speed that kills a pigeon in midair before either bird hits the ground. But speed alone is not the same as accuracy, and the most successful aerial hunter is not the falcon at all. It is something much smaller, hovering over a summer pond. The dragonfly. To your eye, it looks like it is just flitting about at random. In truth, it is running some of the most advanced targeting mathematics in the animal kingdom. When a dragonfly locks onto a mosquito, it does not simply chase it. It predicts exactly where its prey is going to be, adjusts its own flight to intercept that future point, and closes in from below and behind in the prey's blind spot. Nearly its entire head is tens of thousands of lenses, giving it almost a full sphere of vision. Its 4 wings move independently, letting it hover, fly backwards, and turn on a pinpoint. Put all of that together and the dragonfly catches the prey it targets around 95% of the time. Think about what that means. A jet fighter with a human pilot and a computer targeting system does not lock on that reliably. This ancient insect, older than the dinosaurs, solves in a fraction of a second a problem of prediction and interception that engineers spend careers trying to master. Hold on to that number, because we are going to come back to it, and it is going to completely change how you think about the word deadly. Speed is one path to perfection, but there is an opposite path, and it belongs to the patient, to the ambush. Consider the Nile crocodile, a design so successful it has barely changed in 100 million years. It has watched the dinosaurs come and go. For most of the year, it does almost nothing, drifting like a waterlogged log, only its eyes and nostrils breaking the surface. It can wait like this for hours, for days, and it is waiting for one moment, the migration, when thousands of wildebeest and zebra are forced to cross its river. When an animal lowers its head to drink, the crocodile explodes upward with a burst of power that seems impossible for something that was a heartbeat ago completely still. Its bite is among the strongest ever measured. Thousands of pounds of force clamping shut in an instant. Then comes the signature move, the death roll. The crocodile spins its entire body along its length, twisting its prey off balance and tearing it down into the water. All of it powered by patience, weeks of stillness spent for a few seconds of violence. On land, ambush wears 8 legs and lives underground. The trapdoor spider digs a burrow and caps it with a perfectly camouflaged hinged lid, woven from silk and soil so seamless you could stare straight at it and never see the door. Around the entrance it lays out silk trip lines like the strands of a web laid flat on the ground. When an insect wanders across one of those threads, the spider feels the faintest vibration through its legs, bursts the door open and drags its meal down into the dark, often in less than a fraction of a second. It has never chased anything in its life. It lets the world walk to its door. And in the ocean, the ambush comes from the deep, from directly below. A great white shark hunting a seal does not race along the surface where it can be seen. It hangs in the darker water beneath its target, where its grey back vanishes against the gloom, and then it rises, accelerating straight up. When it hits, sometimes it launches a body the size of a small car, completely clear of the water in an explosion of spray. That single strike from below, unseen until the last instant, is the whole hunt. Miss, and the shark sinks back into the dark to wait for another. Everything hangs on that one moment of surprise, because a seal that sees the shark coming is faster and more nimble in the water and will almost always get away. The ambush hunter only gets one card to play, so it plays it perfectly or not at all. And there is one more ambush worth pausing on at the top of the world. The polar bear does not chase seals across the ice. It cannot outrun them to the water. Instead, it finds a breathing hole in the frozen sea, the one place a seal must return to for air, and it waits beside it, utterly motionless, sometimes for hours in brutal cold, its black nose the only dark spot on a white world. When the seal finally surfaces to breathe, the bear strikes in a single explosive lunge. Stillness again spent for 1 second of speed. But some of the deadliest hunting on Earth is not about one animal at all. It is about many, moving as one mind. Watch a wolf pack test a herd of elk across the snow. They do not just charge in. They fan out, they probe, they read every animal for the smallest sign of weakness. And when they find it, they work in relays, fresh wolves rotating to the front while others fall back to rest, wearing their prey down over distances no single hunter could ever manage. On the savannah, a lion pride turns the hunt into a battle plan. The lionesses spread into a rough arc, and some deliberately break cover to drive the prey straight toward the others waiting hidden in the grass ahead. It is an ambush built by a team, one group acting as the beaters, the other as the trap. In the ocean, orcas take cooperation to an art form. A pod hunting a seal stranded on an ice floe will line up shoulder to shoulder and swim at it together, pumping their tails in unison to launch a single coordinated wave that washes over the ice and sweeps the seal into the water where the others are waiting. This is not instinct alone. It is a technique taught by mothers to their young, passed down through generations like inherited knowledge. And the true champions of the team hunt are the African wild dogs. Where a lion may fail most of the time, a wild dog pack succeeds on the majority of its chases, one of the highest success rates of any large predator on land. Their secret is not strength or size, it is stamina, communication, and near total commitment as a group. They talk to each other constantly with high, chirping calls. They take turns leading the chase, and they simply do not give up, running their prey to exhaustion across the open plain. The pack is the predator. No single dog could do what all of them do together. And before a hunt, they hold what looks almost like a meeting, a burst of excited greeting, sneezing, and circling, a kind of vote that decides whether the whole group commits. Cooperation this tight is not just muscle, it is a society organized entirely around the hunt. Now, strip away the muscle and the speed and look at the hidden machinery underneath. The senses. Because a hunter is only as good as its ability to find prey it cannot see, a shark can feel the electricity of life itself. Scattered across its snout are hundreds of tiny jelly-filled pores that detect the faint electric fields given off by every beating heart and twitching muscle. In the final moment of a strike, when the shark's eyes roll back for protection and it is effectively blind, it can still sense a fish hiding under the sand, guided by nothing but the electrical spark of its prey's own body. A pit viper hunts with heat. Between its eye and nostrils sits a special pit organ so sensitive it builds a thermal picture of the world, letting the snake see the body warmth of a mouse in total darkness and strike with lethal precision, aiming at a target made of nothing but heat. An owl hunts with silence and sound. The leading edge of its wing is fringed like a comb, breaking up the air so its flight is almost completely silent. Its prey never hears death coming, and its ears are set slightly uneven, one higher than the other, so a rustle in the grass reaches each ear a fraction of a moment apart, letting the owl pinpoint a mouse under a blanket of snow with its eyes closed. And then there is the mamba, which is speed and chemistry fused into one. The black mamba is among the fastest snakes on Earth, able to move at a pace that can outrun a person over short ground, and it carries a neurotoxin so potent that without treatment a serious bite is very often fatal. It does not need to overpower anything. A single fast strike, a trace of venom, and the hunt is essentially already over. The snake can even let a bitten animal wander off, then follow its scent trail with a flickering tongue and collect its meal once the venom has done the work. Effort spent up front, patience for the rest, and high in the sky, another sense rules. Raw power fused to eyesight. A golden eagle can spot a rabbit from over a kilometre away, its vision several times sharper than ours, and it can dive to seize prey with a grip stronger than a human hand could ever squeeze. In the rainforest canopy, the harpy eagle takes this further still, with talons as long as a bear's claws, powerful enough to pluck a monkey or a sloth straight out of the treetops. These birds are precision and violence bound into a single falling shape. Now let's return to that number I asked you to remember. 95%. Because here is the twist that turns the whole idea of a deadly predator on its head. If you rank hunters by how often they actually succeed, the fearsome ones fall to the bottom. The lion, king of the savannah, fails most of its hunts. The great white goes hungry more often than not. But the dragonfly, a creature you could hold on your fingertip, hits its target around 95% of the time. The orca, the ocean's apex predator, succeeds on a huge share of its coordinated hunts. Perfection, it turns out, is not about how frightening you look or how hard you can bite. It is about the exact match between a hunter and its prey, refined over millions of years until the tool fits the task almost perfectly. And that brings us to the animal that has the strongest claim of all to the crown, the orca, the killer whale. It is the single most widespread apex predator in the ocean, found in every sea on the planet, and it has no natural predator of its own. Nothing hunts the orca. Different pods have their own specialities, passed down as culture. Some hunt fish, some hunt seals, some hunt whales far larger than themselves, wearing a giant down as a coordinated team. They herd fish into tight balls and stun them with slaps of their tails. They wash seals off the ice with manufactured waves. And most staggering of all, orcas have been recorded hunting and killing the great white shark itself, flipping the shark onto its back to hold it still and removing the one organ it wants. The animal at the very top of the ocean's food chain, the great white, is prey to the orca. Intelligence, cooperation, teaching, and a body built for the sea, all in one animal. If any hunter deserves to be called the deadliest, it is the one that even the sharks have learned to fear. So what is the real secret of the deadliest predators? It is not simply speed, though the falcon falls faster than any creature alive. It is not simply patience, though the crocodile has waited out the dinosaurs. It is not simply teamwork, or venom, or a sixth sense for electricity and heat. It is the perfect fit. Every one of these hunters is a key, cut with impossible precision, to open one specific lock, a particular prey, in a particular place, at a particular moment. The cheetah exists because the gazelle runs. The falcon's dive exists because the pigeon flies. The orca's intelligence exists because the ocean is vast and its prey is clever. And here is the part we rarely stop to think about. Every one of these terrifying weapons was carved by the very animals it hunts. The faster the prey ran, the faster the hunter had to become. The better the prey hid, the sharper the hunter's senses grew. Predator and prey have been locked together for millions of years in a silent arms race, each one shaping the other, each one making the other more extraordinary. The deadliest predators are not accidents of cruelty. They are masterpieces of design, and every single one was sculpted by the desperate, brilliant creatures that spent millions of years trying not to be eaten. So here is what we want to know from you. Of all these hunters, which one earns the title of the deadliest in your eyes? The cheetah's explosive speed, the crocodile's endless patience, the wolfpack's teamwork, or the orca that even hunts sharks? Tell us in the comments, and if this changed the way you see the hunt, stay with us. Because the natural world is full of impossible things that turn out to be true.